Long ago, in a peaceful town surrounded by mountains and rivers, there lived a small yet prosperous community. The people of this town were God-fearing, hard-working, and compassionate toward one another. Among them lived a pious and wise man named Yahya ibn Saleh. Yahya was an ordinary man in appearance, but his heart was filled with faith. He was not wealthy, yet his home was always full of blessings. Near the end of his life, one night after praying tahajjud, he sat deep in thought and realized that his time to depart from this world was approaching. Yahya had 3 sons: Amin, intelligent and calculative; Naim, devoted to worship and a seeker of knowledge; and Rahil, quiet, kind-hearted, and compassionate toward the poor. One day Yahya called his sons and said, "My sons, after my death I am not leaving behind gold or silver for you. Instead, I am leaving you with 3 doors and 1 test." The sons looked at one another in surprise. Yahya continued, "7 days after my death, go to the western edge of the city. There you will find an old building. Inside it are 3 doors. Each of you must choose 1 door. What you find behind it will be your test in life." Then he added gently, "Remember, whoever places their trust in Allah will never be at a loss." A few days later, Yahya ibn Saleh passed away. The entire town was filled with grief. The test of the 3 doors. 7 days later, the 3 brothers reached the place their father had described. Indeed, there stood an abandoned building covered in dust and silence. On the 3 doors were written, "First door, what shines to the eyes; second door, what satisfies the mind; third door, what Allah sees." Amin's door. Amin was practical and logical. He thought, what shines must be valuable. He opened the first door. Inside he found gold coins, jewels, and expensive garments. His eyes sparkled with excitement. He thought, with this wealth I can gain power, respect, and influence. But inside the room was written, "You may enjoy this wealth alone, but you may not share it with anyone." Amin hesitated for a moment, but greed overtook him. He accepted the door and closed it behind him. Naim's door. Naim opened the second door. Inside were countless books, knowledge, explanations of hadith, deep discussions of jurisprudence and wisdom. His heart filled with joy, but on the wall was written, "You may gain this knowledge, but if pride enters your heart, it will become a burden for you." Naim said to himself, "I will seek knowledge for the sake of Allah." He accepted the door. Amin's door. The youngest, Rahil, stood silently before the 3rd door for a long time. Then he whispered, "O Allah, grant me whatever you wish." When he opened the door, he found nothing inside, only a small clay pot containing a little water and a note that read, "Give this water to the one who needs it the most." Rahil was not disappointed. He gently picked up the pot. The outcome of the test. Weeks passed. Amin's wealth slowly turned him arrogant. He forgot the suffering of others, and his heart became hard. Naim gained knowledge, but he began to feel irritated when people questioned him. Slowly, he started considering himself superior to others. And Rahil? One day, outside the city, he found a sick traveler lying on the ground, dying of thirst. Without hesitation, Rahil gave him all the water he had. The traveler recovered, looked up with teary eyes, and said, "May Allah accept you, young man." At that very moment, a gentle breeze descended from the sky. Rahil felt a deep, indescribable peace fill his heart. That night, all 3 brothers saw the same dream. Their father, Yahya, appeared and said, "Whoever gives for the sake of Allah is never empty-handed.
Wealth is temporary, knowledge is a test, but compassion is the key to paradise. The next day it became clear. Amin's gold had no true value. Naim's knowledge had become a source of confusion, but Rahil's heart was filled with peace and light. Moral of the story. This story teaches us, pinpoint, the most valuable thing in the sight of Allah is sincere compassion, pure intention, and selfless service to humanity. Assalamu alaikum. If you enjoyed this Islamic story, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe to Islami Web X for more inspiring Islamic stories, lessons, and reminders. May Allah guide us all and grant us success in both this world and the hereafter. Ameen.